In today's session, we'll dive into the changing online travel landscape and what it means for hotels like yours and how we need to stay agile to keep up. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and it is, but we'll zoom through 4 decades of game changing innovation so that we can brace for what's ahead. Ready? Let's go. Let's start way back in the late 70s and early 80s, our first stop. Did you know that the way we choose airlines and hotels today was massively influenced by something that happened back then? Yep. In about 1979, Texas Airlines and American Airlines launched their AAdvantage program. It was one of the first airline loyalty programs, and it changed the game. Suddenly, people weren't just booking the cheapest flight, they were booking flights that could help them earn miles, which they could then use for future travel. This made loyalty a huge factor in our travel choices. Fast forward to the 1990s, and here's where things really start to open up for the everyday traveler. Budget airlines like Southwest and Ryanair entered the stage, making air travel way more accessible than it was. No more was flying just for the wealthy elite. Now anyone could hop on a plane for a weekend getaway without breaking the bank. But wait, there's more. The late 90s brought us something even more revolutionary: online travel agencies, or OTAs, Expedia and Priceline, put all the power of travel planning right at your fingertips. Suddenly, you didn't need a travel agent to book a trip. You could do it yourself directly online. And that was a huge shift, gave travelers more control and more choice than ever before. Now, for the eco conscious amongst us, the late 90s and early 2000s also saw the rise of sustainable tourism. Travelers started to care more about how their trips impacted the environment. Green became the new black, and hotels suddenly had to think about eco friendly options, carbon footprints, and sustainability in their operations. Then came the user reviews revolution in the early 2000s. Remember when we all started checking TripAdvisor before booking a hotel? Suddenly, everyday traveler was not just a guest, but also a critic. And hotels, well, they had to start paying a lot more attention to their online reputation because reviews could make or break them. Now, let's talk about the smartphone revolution that hit in the 2010s. With the rise of mobile apps, mobile bookings surged. Apps like Airbnb and Hotel Tonight catered to the spontaneous adventurous traveler who could book a last minute trip with just a few taps on their phone. This was a real game changer. Hotels again had to adapt quickly to the fact that more and more bookings were happening on the go. And speaking of change, the global middle class expanded dramatically, especially in countries like China and India. Suddenly, we had millions more people joining the global traveler pool, new faces, new destinations, and new expectations as well. Hotels had to adapt to this growing and diverse group of travelers, each with their own needs and preferences. Then came the rise of experiential travel. Travelers began to crave more than the usual cookie cutter vacations and hotels. They wanted unique, authentic experiences, whether it was living with locals, taking off the beaten path tours, or immersing themselves in local culture. Hotels had to get creative, offering more personalized and enriching experiences to keep up with this new demand. And who could forget about the rise of social media influencers? In the last decade, one Instagram post could put a hidden gem of a hotel or a destination on the world map. A single influencer could make or break a property's reputation, which means hotels then had to get savvy about their social media presence as well. And now we're in the 2020s where everything is about being contactless, from virtual tours, mobile check ins, to digital health passports. Technology is making our travel experience more seamless and touch free than ever before. The COVID pandemic only accelerated this trend, and now it's clear that this is a future of travel. Phew, what a journey, right? From loyalty programs to contactless tech, the travel industry has come a huge, long way. But what does this all mean for hotels and your commercial success? What can we learn from these trends? Well, if you look at the evolution of travel from the 80s to now, a few things are clear. The industry has gotten more complex. There's more competition than ever before. And most importantly, there's an increased need for digital readiness. In today's world, if your hotel isn't ready to meet travelers where they are online, on their phones, or wherever they are, you're going to fall behind. The world is increasingly digital, and the youngest generation, Gen Alpha, is already being born into a world where the digital and physical blend seamlessly. So, what does this mean for us? It means we need to keep evolving. It requires new skill sets, new training, and most importantly, the ability to adapt. The travel landscape is constantly shifting, and we need to stay curious, stay agile, and be ready to respond to whatever comes next. And let's face it, there's always something new on the horizon. Right now, it's all about artificial intelligence and how it's going to shape the future of travel. But who knows what's next? The only thing that's certain is that change is constant, and we need to be ready for it. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring and keep evolving.